Welcome everyone to the What's Left podcast. John here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band podcast, adding our voice of resistance as loudly as we can. Boys, we got a lot of shit to get to today. Donald Trump federalized the National Guard in Washington, D.C. because he is mad on the Epstein list. He staged it in front of a group of Fox News hosts and his cabinet members. It was a real fucking circus. But like it really uh it's just stupid, and it's the whole thing was base is because some grown man, some grown MAGA incel Doge boy got his ass kicked by some middle schoolers, supposedly, allegedly. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't think it happened. Just like Butler didn't happen. None of this shit is real. It's all fucking faked. This whole fucking administration is an entire, just complete lie. But before we get to it, please like and subscribe on YouTube, especially the subscribe really helps push us into the algorithm. And we really appreciate all of you being here with us. We love you. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Guys, thoughts on Trump federalizing the National Guard without Nancy Pelosi's permission, which I thought was
No, that's not possible.
right.
That's not allowed.
That's not a thing, right? Only Nancy Pelosi has control of the National Guard, right? That's so it's just as impossible. This isn't happening.
Yeah, this is a farce. Something is amiss here because they swore that it was Nancy Pelosi who didn't call in the no-goes.
Right. Well, I've heard that several million fucking times. So clearly we've misunderstood or misheard him. Um,
The,
must have been some mistake on our
the
part.
mental gymnastics that they have to go through just to remember what lies they're supposed to spew this week is tough.
Oh my God.
Imagine trying to keep up after one of his speeches. Like, oh shit, now we gotta prove this.
What do you guys think of my theory that like they actually like that's the part that they enjoy? Like like they actually like doing this.
Oh, they're like so conditioned to it, they don't think it's just like second nature to them.
You don't think they get off on the lies?
I think they do like the satisfaction of being able to convince a quarter of the nation
Yeah.
these lies.
Even if it is just a few people to be like, and it's more than a few, man. Like,
That's why I
like,
give them a quarter. I said a
yeah,
quarter.
quarter's solid. I mean, they got there's at least a quarter of them that are solely fucking like feet planted in the cult, not moving.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, can't knock them off. Uh, I don't want to play the Trump clip because I just don't want to hear his voice today. Um, but anyway, his reasoning being that the crime rate in DC is super high, which it is not. Of course. DC, he described it really bothered me is like he just described DC as some kind of like a hellscape. And it's not. It's a beautiful place to visit, and if you haven't been there, you should go.
If it was that dangerous, everyone's eighth grade trip would not be to DC.
These people are such bitches, dude. Like you got eighth graders going like walking around. Well, that's who they're afraid of mostly, is just the eighth graders. Like, cause the eighth graders took out big balls. Who knows who's next? Who knows who's next, man? That's what the real problem is here. It's all these goddamn eighth graders. And even Janine Pirro, the fucking box of wine incarnate, who's now the somehow the attorney, DC attorney, even though her boss at Fox News called her too unhinged for live television. Uh, she's out here saying that we're just not hard enough on the fucking youth, and that's what the real problem is. But
Can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old.
look at that creepy fucking face that Trump is making when she says that.
Because he's reminiscing.
Yeah, he's like, you can't,
Mm.
but he can and has. Listen, I hate this. I fucking hate this because I cannot blame children for this nonsense for the failures of our society. Okay. At 14, 15, 16 years old, these kids are looking for guidance. And if the best they can get is to be fucking locked away and called fucking criminals, then we are failing them, not the other way around. In Baltimore, we saw the mayor invest in after school programs, invest in the children, and we saw the violent crime rate in that city has dropped precipitously over the past year. Like it's been, don't say it. It's not a, it's just, it was a
Yeah,
good,
you
that was a
used it.
good,
I
it
liked
That was
it.
was a
good.
goddamn, it was a good word. It was the
It's
right
It
good.
was a
word.
good word. It
Top
was
of
right.
that line.
I'm not knocking you. I'm just,
It
No.
just, you're
I'm
over there
just
making,
admiring. I'm just
yeah.
admiring.
All right. Good. That's,
Wow.
wow. Yeah.
I just
Dropped.
I just kind of want to know where the origin of that word came for you.
I, I yanked that out of straight thin air.
Uh,
I was because and you know what it was in a full panic because I knew the number and I forgot the number. So I was like, what am I gonna say? So it precipitously just flew out just like that.
Right.
Yeah, it
He
was
just listens to the thesaurus at work.
improvisation. Uh, yeah, that's what that was. But yeah, dude. So like, you can't tell me. So that talking point is bullshit. Too. If there's kids that are in DC that need help, they significantly just cut funding in the big beautiful bill for after school programs, for gun prevention programs, for community violence prevention programs. So fuck all the way off with all of those talking points. All of the things that are working that have gotten them to that place, a place that both Kash Patel and Donald Trump in that press conference accidentally admitted out loud they cut. So fuck you. Locking up black and brown kids is not the answer. But here we are. This is the progression that we said everybody saw coming. Anybody that was paying any kind of fucking attention. Like this is the natural progression of things. We started with people who are legal status to people who look like people without legal status, and now we're actually doing just coming out and saying straight citizens, straight children, and fuck them all. And if it's lock away the poor, broke, brown, black American to make life more comfortable for the good American, the white American. And that's been the whole fucking Project 2025 thing since the very fucking beginning. And they just keep bringing more and more of those people into the fold. And the plan just keeps fucking rolling out in front of everybody's faces, like in plain sight. And people still want to, there's still people out there who are stupid enough to be defending it. And that's infuriating.
The part that's most infuriating, and it's gonna get me worked up. I already know it is when I start thinking about it. The reason that we can't have common sense gun laws is because these people are not willing to give up their guns in the event of a tyrannical government. That's what they swear they need these extended magazines for, is if their government turns on them. These motherfuckers are now cheering for the government to turn on them, bro.
Yep.
Like that's what they're cheering for. And I understand what Trump is doing is within his legal right now, but they're like in support of military in the street. This is like just another test to see like how his base responds to military in the street. And these fucking Proud Boy 2A people are so tough and they're going to stop the government and blah, blah, blah. And they're actually just fucking pussies and guns make them feel big and tough. And they actually wouldn't do a fucking thing if the government turned on their people because we're watching it happen and they're not doing anything. They're fucking cheering for it.
Yeah. It's because in reality, MAGA is Nick Fuentes getting punched in the face by a woman and then screaming and crying and running and hiding behind his mother. Like in reality, MAGA is big balls walking around DC at 3 o'clock in the morning. If it actually happened, which I don't think that it actually did, probably going around saying the racist shit that he loves to say so much, got his ass handed to him by 12-year-olds, according to winebag Janine Pirro. So roving herds of children are beating these fucking pussies' ass.
I bet they are. Be afraid of the woke nation.
You should be. I if things like that are happening to you, which they are not, these alleged crimes did not happen. But if they are, good, good. If you volunteer for ICE, show your fucking face, you goddamn coward. Like you fucking work for law enforcement. You have a obligation to be actually transparent, not Trump administration transparent. Like you just say the word transparent and make it so.
Yeah. Fuck you and your student loan payback ICE agents.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be fucking kidding me with that
Get
shit.
out of here.
It can't be done. It's not fair to everybody else.
Unless you work for us.
Yeah, unless you're willing to fucking rat out your neighbors and throw people out of the country. It's fucking unbelievable. Because
Imagine
all
you get a college education for that too.
right, how many fucking college education people you think are really signing up to go to fucking work for ICE? Zero. Anyway, let's I also want to talk about we talked about a little the uh Alaska thing that's happening on Friday, right?
Yes.
And I thought like, well, at least it's only like the outskirts of the country. But in reality, I heard on the radio from the radio. I heard on the internet from uh someone who lived in Russia and was taught Russian school growing up. Like we're taught Russian propaganda through school growing up. I was being interviewed and they were talking about how in Russia they're taught that Alaska belongs to Russia, that it's on lease to the United States, and the United States changed the contract. And so in reality, Russia owns Alaska. And so this is being billed in Russia as Putin's glorious return to Russian Alaska. And it's literally the biggest. You couldn't give Putin a bigger win unless, of course, you said that you were going to swap territories for him or not invite Zelensky or fail to invite NATO, or I guess it's just about everything he wants, huh?
Yep. It's going to be a weird power shift.
Yeah, dude, what's he even gonna ask? We could be over and be like, well, you know what? This is good, but like, what about Poland? Like, what's left to ask for? What's left to ask for? They give him every fucking thing he wants. Every fucking thing he wants. And Trump is pissed because it's written into like Zelensky's like, I can't give up territory because it's in the Constitution. The people have to vote on it. And Trump, of course, hates that. Give me a second, fellas.
Uh,
All right. So yeah, this is actually, of course, the biggest win for Putin. Not a thing left on the table. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting because uh at first it didn't really register to me that like Alaska was a big deal to Russia, but of course it is, you know?
yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Mhm. So,
Think about the oil there.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wouldn't
So,
that be crazy, bro? If they're just like, we want it back, pussies.
dude, it'd be crazy if he like showed up with an army and they just like let him in because it was like part of his entourage, and then he was like, "We own this now,"
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck can we do about it?
for Russia.
Start a war with a nuclear power? That's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. This guy is like in the pocket. It's like remember like when we talked about Matt Gaetz and like how compromised he was?
Yeah,
Like this is why you can't have a compromised politician. You can't have a president this compromised. Like that's an insane level of like they got shit on you. And speaking of compromised, Ghislaine Maxwell told her cellmate uh, that she had enough dirt on Trump to get a pardon, which we all figured. And proof to the pudding, guys. I don't know if you heard this today, but Ghislaine Maxwell has been granted work release.
huh?
Yeah. Oh, I
That's
love.
not true.
No, it's very true. It's very true. She has been granted the ability, just like Jeffrey Epstein had, the ability to come and go on work release. Of course, her last known job was trafficking children. Um, no word on what she plans to be doing this time around. So,
I never looked that up on related job fields, but
yeah. Yeah, if that doesn't piss you all the way off, I don't know what does, dude. That's crazy. Because we
sounds
just
like he's opening a daycare.
she's in a prison next to a college full of fucking young girls and girls, touring the campus who are still in high school. Like this absolutely has no business being anywhere near there. I mean, absolutely batshit crazy. Like he is the other guy. Like it's Epstein and Trump and Epstein, and the rest of it's just fucking noise, dude. The rest of it's noise. I swear
And
to God.
maybe a little bit of Betty.
Oh, sure, sure, sure. A couple of popes, but I mean, they're all through and passing. Like all they want, there's only two guys that like stuck together through and through,
Yep.
holding hands, writing birthday notes, drawing boobs to each other. Just
Wild times.
the president of the United States, fellas. This was not like you were growing up, you didn't see this coming. You didn't. You didn't. No. Nobody's. I mean, oh my God. Anyway. Yeah, that makes me sad. That makes me... Anyway, that happened. That's what's happening there. Um, but I want to talk today, guys, about uh, Democrats. Um, I do. I don't want to.
Are we still calling them Democrats? I feel like we should have a different name for them at this point.
That's a great point. I don't know, like
The old
Dinah,
guard.
the old guard. It makes them sound like they actually protected something. They never fucking,
Fixing their jabs.
yeah,
Their jabs.
they didn't do fucking nothing. Not a goddamn thing. Um, John Oliver had a piece about my favorite Democrat on his show last week, and apparently, Chuck Schumer's entire political career has been focused around the story of this Massapequa couple who just has all these small C conservative ideals, and he just talks to them. He keeps in touch with them all the time, and he made these people up. They don't actually exist. And he mentioned he has a 265 page memoir in which he mentions them 256 times. He made them up.
God, real.
Oh,
I don't know if it's really coming through how high my blood pressure is right now.
no, you just love Chucky. That must be really hard for you.
This man, this man is the most incompetent motherfucker on the planet. And we've also, I don't know, I don't think I've ever actually mentioned this on the show, but like his kids, they work for big tech companies, right? And so the reason that we fail to rein in big tech companies over the years, the reason that none of these things can seem to pass the fucking Senate is because Chuck is standing in the goddamn way. Chuck and, not just Chuck, but Chuck just so happens to be the leader of the fucking Senate. So he, more than anybody else, can whip votes. And then, he failed miserably with the whole continuing resolution thing. Uh, Managed to carve 10 members of his own party, just 10, just 10. Like, that's not a way to block a vote. That is beyond ridiculous. Of course, he voted against stopping arms to Israel now, like right now, which is insane. 10 months ago, I might have given you a pass for being a fucking moron. But today, you're an evil piece of shit. Today, you're an evil piece of shit. I've seen too much for there to be some sort of false equivalency here. Um, Listen, we all voted for Kamala. We all volunteered for Kamala. We all liked her well enough. We supported them. Uh, when they first started their campaign, we're pretty excited for them. But as the campaign went on, it ran further and further to the right, whether Democrats want to fucking acknowledge that or not. Today, I was on Threads and I just couldn't let it go. Couldn't let it go. Couldn't do it. Someone with a very large following uh, posted on there that Bernie was afraid of Kamala running again. And that's why he brought up the fact that he didn't think that her campaign had a strong working class message. And then, uh, you know, other Democrats start hopping on board and, yada rah rah. And I just said like it really wasn't like it wasn't landing, basically. That's all I said. Actually, what I what I posted was just the Larry David bean of, eh, that was it. That's all I said. And immediately, immediately, Libs came out of the fucking woodwork to shout me down. And so naturally, I just, I put it out there. So, and then she also was waffly on Palestine. No, she wasn't. She was this and that and blah blah blah. She was a rubber stamp for the Biden administration's fucking policy on Israel, and she did it over and over again. Yeah, did she mention Israel, Gaza? Yes. Did Which convention though do you suppose had Arab Americans speaking about Arab American ideals? Or would you suppose that was the Republican National Convention or was it the Democratic National Convention? I'll give you three guesses. So here's this too, for anybody who forgets. This was the one. This was where she had the opportunity to distance herself from Biden this entire interview and didn't do it on any subject. But since this is the one we're going to be talking about, I pulled this one.
President Biden has tried unsuccessfully to end the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. He's been doing it for months and months, along with you. Would you do anything differently? For example, would you withhold some U.S. weapons shipments to Israel? That's what a lot of people on the
Some.
progressive left want you to do.
Let me be very clear. I'm unequivocal and unwavering in my commitment to Israel's defense and its ability to defend itself. And that's not going to change. But let's take a step back. October 7, 1,200 people were massacred. Many young people who were simply attending a music festival. Women were horribly raped. As I said then, I say today, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed. And we have got to get a deal done. We were in Doha. We have to get a deal done.
Holy Christ. Okay, I've had as much as I can fucking handle. What in the actual fuck is that? And then, it has everything else to it. Like, since we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. She should be the president of the United States. She lost because people are racist and misogynistic in this country. That's what happened. End of story. Because a piping hot tuna fish sandwich cooked on the radiator of a 64 Chevelle should have beat Donald Trump. Not because Democratic policies are any fucking good. Right? And she came out swinging with the price whatever, gouging and whatever. But then as soon as Democratic strategists like James Carville and David Axelrod shat all over it, it's the last you ever heard of it. Never defended it, never tried again. They played that clip of her talking about trans people in prison over and over and over and over and over and over again. And she addressed it 0 out of fucking 2,000 times. Never once did she address that. Never once did she just say, like, listen, This we're talking about a very small part of the population. It's very dangerous to keep fucking a trans woman in a male prison. It's extraordinarily dangerous and very bad for that person. Like, how fucking hard is that? How fucking hard is that? It's not, right? Uh, it costs next to nothing. Um, it costs more to deal with the fucking aftermath. I've been there. I've seen it. It's not pretty. The what's the other thing? God, that fucking fires me up. And then immigration. Her whole immigration plan was the plan written by Republicans. It cedes every single point to the Republicans. It starts with Fox News talking points and ends with Fox News talking points. At no point did Democrats ever make a positive pitch for the reason that immigrants were good to this country until everybody else came around and started screaming at them. And now you got probably 20% of them that will talk about it. And that's shameful. Fucking shameful. I know I've always been to the left on immigration. I've never, ever believed that like the reason that fucking billionaires won't give up fucking goddamn living salary has anything to do with the guy working next to me. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. You don't get to be a billionaire by being a good person, Taylor Swift. You just don't.
Okay.
No. So I don't know. Am I being too hard on the campaign?
No, and I think you should also bring up what she's done since. What struck me the most concerning was she has been like radio silent. And the first time I saw her back, she was promoting her new fucking book.
Yeah. They all do.
That's ridiculous. You've done nothing since, not said a word. But now you want to say, oh, in this book, I explain whatever. I think it was like new terms and like policies and like how she would have, I don't know. I didn't even finish watching because I didn't care.
No.
You're
Nobody-
selling a book.
No one wants this.
America's burning and you want to sell a book.
Nobody wants fucking memoirs right now. Nobody. Chuck Schumer did the same thing right after the continuing resolution vote, tried to go on a book tour, which thankfully enough protesters fucking showed up to shut that motherfucker down.
It's upsetting.
All people want to do is sell books to people who don't read. It's the fucking this whole Democratic fucking party. So are Democrats learning lessons, do you think?
No, they don't stand for anything still.
No.
Of course not.
They love to break trust, and they've done it to all these marginalized communities for years.
Yep. Speaking of, I've got another clip. This one is you guys know we've talked about Pete Buttigieg on here before. He is a very yeah. Well, recently he's backtracked on defending trans people in sports, and now this one. This is a phenomenal, catastrophic fumble. Take a
Talk
look.
about human suffering in Gaza.
Do you think it's time to recognize a Palestinian state?
I think that's a profound question that arouses a lot of the biggest problems that have happened with Israel's survival, Israel's right to survival in the diplomatic scene. And many of the people who have taken that step historically have done so for different reasons than what we see happening with European countries. I think we need to step back and we need to do whatever it takes to ensure that there is a real two-state solution and that no one, not even the likes of Netanyahu, can veto the international community's commitment to a two-state solution where you have Palestinians and Israelis living with safety, with security, with rights. I believe that can happen, but we have to actually show some commitment to it.
That felt like a yes or no answer to me.
I don't really find it that profound.
No, or complicated. Or complicated. You know, by October 8th, it was already a little uncomfortable in response. Like even if you like were to be like, okay, look, this is our ally, we need to let them, retaliate in kind and, whatever. It took literally no time for it to be disproportionate as fuck. Disproportionate as fuck. And 10 months in, it was a disaster. So when Kamala was making these statements to the DNC 10 months into the so-called war on Gaza, which was a terrorist attack followed by the leveling of cities. Like that's it. Like there's a ceasefire. Like even just calling it a war and calling it a ceasefire. Like what Democrats failed to fucking recognize at the time and still continue to not acknowledge is that that's absurd to people who are watching what's happening. A war is where people fight each other. A ceasefire happens when two sides are shooting at each other. You have one aggressor, just one.
Yeah, I'd like to see the casualty numbers for the IDF.
Well, it's not as high as you know, anything. I don't know. I, it's sickening. The numbers that they have are so low because they still haven't found most of the people under the rubble. Most people are not accounted for in Gaza. It's insane. And now they're saying stuff like, oh, they're going to give them an opportunity to leave before they start attacking. So basically, ethnic cleansing, engage.
Yeah.
And yes, Trump is worse. We knew that. We plugged it, we voted for it. But this is a 90-10 issue among Democrats. And I found all 10% of the Democrats who still support Israel in that fucking phase threads feed fucking blowing each other. Like that's a real fucking problem because that's who a lot of these people are like influential in the party. These are the influencers that like politicians keep around them.
Yep.
These are the people who get rewarded in this party. These are the people that they have at the top are people who are willing to fucking toe this stupid party line. And the party line is not the voters' line. It's not even close. They don't listen to a goddamn thing that they have to say. They're out here dogging. Like, I don't care what you think about Bernie Sanders. Fucking hate him all you want. Give a fuck. My politicians are not my gods. But when you look at the stadiums that he's packing and you listen to his message and you refuse to accept any of it, when you sit there and you look at Zohar Mamdani and the campaign that he's running and see how closely it mirrors some of the same ideas and talking points, and you still can't even fucking endorse him, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries from New York, like you're failing. You're failing to listen to people who are screaming in your face what they want from you. It's crazy because you think what? You're going to catch some Republicans on the fucking in the middle somewhere? So you won't have to fucking stop trading stocks in Congress? So you won't have to campaign for money? You will just be able to continue to take AIPAC money? I mean, what is so worth it? How do you sit there and watch all these children get starved to death and think, it's cool.
AIPAC money, bro.
That's wild. It's wild as fuck. It's safe for safety and security for yourself. You're willing to give up the fucking livelihood, and existence of an entire nation. You're fucked up. You don't deserve a spot in leadership. Sorry, you just don't. I'm not sorry. What the fuck am I apologizing to? Fuck you. It's unbelievable. I don't know. There are some speaking with clarity, but boy, we are the fucking fringe and hated, so hated. It's amazing to me. Like they hate and say, several of the comments that I got were like, literally, you are worse than MAGA. Somebody actually, sent like quoted one of my responses. It was like, the Palestine, I don't know, it was pro-Palestine response and said that the Bernie bros are worse than MAGA. Are they now? Well, because I thought you were just now arguing that Donald Trump was the worst thing ever, and therefore I should vote for whoever the fucking Democrats put up. Unless, of course, that person was Bernie Sanders, I guess.
Bernie bros.
Wow, bro. And listen, most of your Bernie bros are fucking MAGA now anyway.
Ugh.
Fucking unbelievable.
It's so crazy that 100-year-old Bernie Sanders is out there still campaigning on like socially progressive issues, and everybody's like, boo him. Boo this man.
Boo that man.
Yeah, dude. He's like like he's old as fuck, and he's still out here. Like, guys, this is what America needs, and they're just like, nah,
Yeah.
And he's never wavered on his policies. He's
no.
the truth, man. And he's stuck to him. He doesn't let anybody influence him.
Yeah.
So my question is, since the Democrats aren't doing anything, and it's crazy, what happens when the majority of people don't want to vote for either one? Is this like a third party run?
This
Is
is
it
what
going to be like, what if it was like some crazy candidate comes out of, I don't know, like the socialists or the libertarians and takes voters away? Then it's just going to break ours because the MAGA is going to still vote for MAGA, right?
yeah, but if it's a smaller percentage, 25%, but it would be more helpful if they broke away and had their own party. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I don't know. Because here's the thing.
I don't
There's
know how like crazy politics stuff works, but like it sounds like people aren't happy with Democrats, so it's just gonna break the party. Like when it's not working, people are mad and they don't want to vote for these people.
yeah, I mean that's what happened. I mean, like people staying home was a big part of not winning the last election. It wasn't the people like were rushing out to vote for Donald Trump. It was the people were like, I don't like if
Not
you
voting.
yeah, people couldn't see the difference. And you know, too, when you sit there, you take like Liz Cheney, you wander her out there, and everybody knows who the fuck Liz Cheney is. Like she's the daughter of a war criminal, a a fucking administration that put us into 20 years worth of fucking war with nobody, fighting Ghost in Afghanistan and fighting Ghost in Iraq. Um, and you're trying to tell us that you're going to have the better stance on war. Like if I'm an uninformed voter or just an anti-war person, like or just somebody who's exhausted, which is most millennials, by the thought of a Middle Eastern war, I don't believe you. I don't believe a thing that you say. You stammer over Israel, and you sit there with Liz Cheney. You got to acknowledge that that was a stupid idea. The enemy of your enemy is your friend, as long as they're on the right. But God forbid they be to your left.
Yep.
Fucking insane. There's a, so I this one lady was telling me how uneducated and stupid I was, which is
Mhm.
you know classic Democrat stuff. Um, and then, but this is what it is. I have no issue with people furthering their education. I have an issue with self-righteous dilettantes. Like using the word dilettantes to describe somebody else as self-righteous is just peak boomer lib. Excuse you? You self-righteous dilettante. The fuck is that even? Get the fuck out. I refuse to look that word up.
Mm.
I don't care what it means. You are fucking like they're out here and they're telling me that my experience is invalid. That me and the conversations that I have with people where they were unimpressed by her policies, me trying to advocate for her, that my experience trying to talk to people who they say that they want in their party, people who I don't even talk to anymore, mostly. A lot of white friends, white working class friends that I try to talk to about these policies, were not buying it. Most people, 60% of our country lives paycheck to paycheck, right? Well, if 60% of the country lives paycheck to paycheck, they're not $25,000 away from owning a home. So offering the $25,000 to build a house or to own a home is not helpful. It's not a working class policy, right?
No. Right.
$6,000 for a child? Cool. You know how much fucking children cost? It's not $6,000. It was a great idea. It should be a thing. It should be a thing. It should be a thing across the board. But Trump was also offering the child tax credit, so it wasn't any different. No tax on tips. No tax on tips. You everything. It was difficult to pin down a distinction when you're running around with Liz Cheney. Like it just is. It just is. When you're talking about your fucking blowing away a home invader, it's difficult to be like, well, I promise she's going to end the war. I think. Fucking crazy. Libs also attacked this great journalist that I follow. Uh, it's his name's Qasim Rashid. Um, they were telling his 9-year-old son that he needed to be more eloquent. His son has a speech impediment and is fucking 9 years old. And then when he said that to this liberal, this fucking lib, he said something about he told his son something about like let's get the fuck away from he called him Mehdi Hassan, confused him with Mehdi Hassan and basically just degraded him in front of his kid. If that's the fucking libs, like you can't be a party for people if you're gonna act like that, dude. Like that you're just blue MAGA. You're just blue MAGA. That's all you are. If you're gonna fucking hoot and holler for a fucking candidate, no matter how fucking shitty they are. And shit, let me say that. Let me rephrase that. Kamala was not shitty as a candidate. Kamala took all of the Clinton fucking consultant advice and ran the same shitty Democratic campaign that managed to lose to the dumbest people on the planet over and over again. You're talking about 2 losses to George W. Bush and 2 losses to Donald Trump. Nobody has ever been worse at politics than Clinton era consultants. No one. No one. That's crazy. George Bush the first time, I forgive you. The second time? The second time? In the middle of a fucking recession and a goddamn war against fucking what? Smoke? Who knows? You gotta be fucking kidding
There
me.
was no way they were not reelecting him in fucking '04. There was no way.
None.
Are you kidding? Toby Keith had come out with a song about putting a boot in your ass. Buddy, America was on top. We might have been poor as fuck, but we were on top.
Right. Hemorrhaging money out of every orifice.
Yeah.
Not a single person had a job.
Nobody.
But god damn it.
God. Toby Keith was on every fucking radio station.
That's right.
Yeah, there was no way they weren't elected him in 2004.
Hell no. Nope. Fucking pathetic.
Now watch me hit this drive.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's real. I mean, 2008, like as much as Barack Obama, his anti-war thing was one of the thing. So, um, give me 2 seconds. All right. So, yeah, the same people that lost to fucking George Bush, lost to Trump. These are the people who are still have the loudest and strongest voices in the party, and they're backed by people like that. And that's a fucking travesty. That's a fucking travesty, boys.
It's never going to change if
No.
we keep allowing everybody to shit on progressive ideas.
Yeah.
So, dude, if you ever try to talk to like another Democrat, they don't like to talk about the issues that are important. It's a very surface level shit. It's never like anything.
No, it's just like Joe Biden's economy. They were like, well, no, you're not feeling bad about the economy. That's not a message. That's not a message. You know, like, no, you don't feel that way. God almighty. Yeah, it's people, and we're not the base, we're not the party, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's just, I mean, it's exhausting. I mean, they're so just out of touch with everything and everybody, but they have enough people rah-rah-rahing them that it won't ever stop. There is one guy I want to find this guy real quick because there's one third party candidate who is struggling a little bit right now, but I follow him and I was just gonna check him out and see before we said anything. But here he is. His name's Lauren Collin for Congress. He's an independent candidate for U.S. California 34. And he said he reposted this by John Leguizamo, who posted a Project 2028 overturn Citizens United, codify women's right to choose, term limits for SCOTUS, get rid of the Electoral College, outlaw gerrymandering nationwide, rank choice voting in all elections, return fairness doctrine in media, universal health care for all, ban stock trading in Congress, cap congressional salary to 1.5 times the median income of their district. That's good. Cap CEO salary 35 times the lowest paid full-time employee. Seems fair. 35 times the lowest paid full-time employee is plenty of fucking goddamn money. Love this one. Tax billionaires out of existence. Tax unrealized gains as loan collateral. That's a little bit more complex, but it's also a very, very, very good policy. Tax mega churches. Oh,
Yes, it's my favorite.
come on. And increase the federal minimum wage to $20 an hour. So, Lauren Collin for Congress, guys. Find him on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Follow him, support him. He's a candidate for U.S. House, California 34.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's always talking good stuff. He's clearly a progressive, but he also like recognizes what we recognize, that like they just goddamn fucking
That's what I'm
suck.
saying. Like,
They
if there
don't
was
want
someone
us.
who's actually saying what we're saying, could they get a big enough backing?
Mm-hmm.
At least for a couple seats.
You already know they're about to shove Gavin Newsom down our throats, and if we make it to 2028,
Oh gosh, they're already starting, dude.
they can't help themselves. They just fucking. That was my Trump impersonation. But yeah, it's great. So another one too, who I have talked about before. He's the one that's uh, running to represent San Francisco, is what he says. We're running to replace Nancy Pelosi. But he says things like, we need new people to run this party. Reposting the story that I was talking about with Chuck Schumer. So, I'm all for him. It's God, I'm gonna fuck it up again. Shukrit Chakrabarti. I got the last name right. Chakrabarti for Congress. And you can find him also on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. His primary election is in 26. So this would be huge if we could fucking oust Nancy Pelosi. He posted this too. This is what I wanted to say. The Democratic Party has two factions. They aren't moderate and progressive. There's one faction that likes to stay and do as little as possible for political cover, what Jake just said. There's another faction that recognizes we have real problems and wants to actually tackle them. And he gives these examples. DNC will consider two God's resolutions at the meeting this month. One submitted by DNC Chair Ken Martin calls for a ceasefire and two-state solution. And one from progressive DNC members calls for an arms embargo and recognizing Palestinian state. Yeah. One is a solution. One is bullshit. And of course, party, Ken Martin, endorses the milquetoast ceasefire, which again is completely disingenuous because only one person is aggressor. So, fucking stupid. All right. Last thing. Laura Loomer, Marjorie Taylor Greene are fighting. Yes. And let me see if I think I downloaded. Yeah, I got the video here. And we got the iHip podcast again to walk us through. It just did a good job of laying out the drama. Oh, I want to show that clip too. Hey, maybe not. Just go with no credit for Democrats today. Although James Taralico from Texas did it again on Fox News.
I'm going to put this post up for you. Okay, Laura Loomer posted this. I wish @Rep MTG got on her knees for her Lord and Savior as much as she got on her knees for men who aren't her husband. Just another fake Christian. Can you call yourself a Christian when your mouth is full of other men's cocks? I may be Jewish, but at least I'm not a Jezebel. So I found that to be quite entertaining. And Laura Loomer, sadly, has a lot of sway with the president. She has gotten national security officers fired. She has loomered people, and she brags about it. So then this is Marjorie Taylor Greene's response to Laura Loomer.
Loomer is another one that has relentless attack to me. Many other
Relentless.
America First Republicans like Matt Gaetz and many other members of Congress. As a matter of fact, the only people she attacks are Republicans. And Laura Loomer touts herself as, basically testing everyone for loyalty. But the truth about Laura Loomer is she scrapes up information and then she twists it and manipulates her stories to basically be the same manuscripted information like MSNBC does.
So here's the thing about Laura Loomer. She's a nut. There's no question. Marjorie.
Yes, they're both nuts, but it's pretty funny. It's
The
fun
girls
to,
are fighting.
yeah, it's fun to see. It's fun to see. So I think I'll just leave you guys with that. You guys want to add anything else? Just a
No.
long sigh.
It's been tough. I won't be here Thursday.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's all right. Me and Jake get through it.
Yep.
God bless. Godspeed. All right, guys. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe. It really helps out. If you want to, you can buy a t-shirt on derealizationnation.com. Helps spread the word about who we are and what we do. Yeah, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
When you get some free time, look up RJ May.